Hello guys, and if you're watching this, you can obviously see the multiplayer menu for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. You're joining me, Ben, and with me I've got Asim. How are we?
Doing all right, mate. It's time to talk about some Blops 3, as I call it.
Indeed, yeah. Blops 3, we've had got a copy through, so we decided to give it a little bit of a run through its paces. Gonna play a bit of team deathmatch for you guys, but I will say just off the bat, we're probably going to be really bad.
Well, it's probably good that you're seeing Ben's screen and not mine. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think my last match was I had 9 kills and 21 deaths. So that's
Okay, I ended up in the winner's circle, so I was all right.
Well, you're better than me.
So yeah, Black Ops 3. What do you think so far? I think you're. I think I'm just about done with the campaign at this point. And you've got a little bit left to do.
I'm about halfway through.
Cool. Yeah. Well, what do you think to it so far?
Campaign-wise, I think that's the part of this package that's a bit lacking. I think it just seems like it's almost a training mode for the multiplayer than anything else.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say that. I'm not 100% sure on how I feel about that description of it, really.
I mean, it's in the sense that it's got the unlocks and stuff like that. Like a campaign, I guess in a traditional sense, is not usually that. And the fact that you can do any mission the way you do in any order you want, and there's kind of loadouts before a mission, and it feels very multiplayer-esque. Almost, and it almost feels like you're just playing against bots. It's just like one kill room to another. That's what it feels like anyway, like one loud, bombastic kill room to another.
Yeah, I think that's probably the oh shit. That's probably the biggest thing for me so far with the campaign. I say I'm very nearly done with it, and I'm aware there's a lot more to it after you've completed it. But the stuff that I've noticed with the campaign is that it's very much funneling you into these like little arenas more than anything else, which is strange for Call of Duty. You're used to these really tight, really scripted corridors and all the rest of it, and it's a bit of a departure. I'm not sure what to make of it, if I'm honest.
I personally yearn for the days where it goes back to something like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, where you had those amazing set-piece missions, but it didn't feel like a kill room. It felt like a natural progression from one story mission to another.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Pieces. I think, the thing was, I was thinking to myself, I kind of miss the... almost like those big moments in like Call of Duty games where, like the nuke could go off and you'd have to crawl out and things like that. But there's a lot happening in this game, but it doesn't seem to be of any substance. It's just like, here's an explosion, here's another explosion, now go kill these guys here. And there doesn't seem to be any substance behind a lot of it, which,
I agree.
Criticising Call of Duty for a lack of substance is, you're never going to get a decent.
Well, to be fair though, it's a fair criticism because and this might make us feel sound old to the younger listeners or viewers, whatever. But Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and even Modern Warfare 2 had a good campaigns. You know what I mean? They had it was an engaging, engrossing campaign. You felt like you were doing something from one mission to another, where now it just feels, like I said, it just feels like one kill room to the next, and it's just one loud thing after another, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to this game. There's obviously the campaign, you've got the multiplayer side of things, and you've obviously got the zombies mode, which has been hugely popular. But it's... I don't really know whether I still want a Call of Duty game at this point. It's like... I took a bit of flack actually from a few people that I actually know personally last year for giving Advanced Warfare such a high score.
Good game.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it, but there was a few people that were saying, well, how can you give it such a high score when it's still this whole, very linear, very narrative-driven experience that ultimately, is really... You can't do anything different with it. And I think they've tried to do it this year, and I'm not too sure it's worked out, and that's.
I think this is the route that I guess people like ourselves don't want to see it go down. Campaign wise, like the story, it just feels like it's because is it Sledgehammer?
Sledgehammer the other did one last year's Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. So they went down the whole modern warfare type route, like the advanced warfare. Sorry, not modern warfare. Advanced warfare with the whole tech stuff, and it seems like they had to do something to kind of match up to that. And they've done this.
I think they did.
Story,
they did really well last year. They did a lot of They did a lot of good, good work with the sort of advancement of it, and it was their first, full Call of Duty. They'd obviously done some multiplayer stuff before, and really, I didn't know what to make of like Black Ops 2, to be honest with you, because I enjoyed the first one. It was a nice change of pace, and it had a particularly interesting element to it where before launch everyone was talking about it being this Vietnam themed game, but obviously it was that was only part of it. And I mean I kind of enjoyed that, and there was the whole thing about the numbers and tell me about the numbers and,
those numbers,
those story elements were quite cool, but I didn't get into Black Ops 2 as much as I thought I was going to. And ultimately, I didn't really get much out of it, either in single player and multiplayer. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. But I was looking forward to Black Ops 3. I thought it was going to be a very sort of fresh take, given the way that Sledgehammer had approached Advanced Warfare. I know they've obviously got a 3-year development cycle, but I thought they could potentially implement some of those bits. And the multiplayer beta that came out a couple of months ago actually had me quite excited to play it, because
we did a video for that. I remember, and
it kind of felt fresh again from the multiplayer side of things. Like the multiplayer, in my opinion, this time around it's as strong as it has ever been.
I mean, that's a good little segue. I guess before we kind of easy coming straight into me. You got shot. Before we move on to the multiplayer, just sum up the campaign. I guess is I mean it's decent. There are some cool moments with the whole tech stuff going on, and there are some good moments. But I think all in all, it just feels like, to me anyway, I know you don't completely agree, it feels like just a training mode for multiplayer essentially now. So that's my feeling anyway.
Yeah, and I think that's been levied at the game in the past, where they say that you play the campaign, you get used to the multiplayer stuff, you get used to the shooting mechanics, and then you go into multiplayer. And I can kind of see that in the fact that you've got these essentially little arenas and these little kill rooms, as we've said. It does seem to be one after another. You've just got kill room, kill room, kill room, kill room, and then like I said earlier, there doesn't really seem to be too much substance.
There are some good elements to it, like the powers and stuff you get, the different perks and powers, whatever you want to call them.
That is quite cool. But as I said, there's no meaning behind it. There doesn't seem to be any big. There doesn't. The substance argument. I keep coming back to that, but it's hard not to.
We did all right. Look at that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
12, 8, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. Shield Definition 1, but keep that up.
So moving on to the multiplayer side of things, I personally think this is probably one of the stronger the stronger multiplayers there's been. I really got into Advanced Warfare last year.
You played it a lot.
I did. I didn't think I would, if I'm brutally honest.
I remember you, before the game came out, you were a bit down, and I was like, this is going to be good.
I've been sort of a little bit down on Call of Duty for a while. I've kind of fell off it after Modern Warfare 3, but the stuff that they've done recently has actually sort of pulled me back in last year. I don't know if this is enough to keep me in with Black Ops 3, but the multiplayer is very strong. They've got a lot of maps, a lot of game modes. The arena mode, I think this time around is basically like they're more esports focused type thing. The standard multiplayer as well, there is an element of it like having that MOBA quality where you kind of pick your specialist. It's almost like picking the heroes in a MOBA. and it's good. It brings a new little unique element rather than everybody just picking the weapons. You've also got these specialist powers, and
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, it's good fun. I'll admit I haven't played much of zombies yet. I'm not not the biggest fan of that mode. I think personally, if I want to play a multiplayer zombies game, Left 4 Dead does that.
You'll play that, yeah.
Better than anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of multiplayer, I think it's the best multiplayer that's been in a Call of Duty for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt even though I did like I preferred Advanced Warfare's campaign to the multiplayer last year.
That's fair.
It's vice versa now, so I really like the multiplayer, even though I'm not very good at it. I'm still having fun when I'm playing it.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really accomplished. I think the whole verticality stuff and the jetpacks, if you want to call them, whatever they've brought in, and wall riding and stuff, the way you can still shoot if you're riding a wall, is really cool.
Yeah.
Really like that. It just keeps the match flowing really, really nicely. And the unlock stuff and the perks and stuff, they've kind of gone back to what they usually do. I think it's like you have 10 slots or something like that.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, could be more.
Wow.
I think it's about 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got the
It's
slots
pick 10
and
this
stuff.
year.
Yeah, pick 10 slots. That's the better approach. And usually, I think
they had it with they had it last year with Advanced Warfare. It was pick 13 though. So I think that's the better way of dealing with it, rather than you get one gun, you get 2 attachments. It's like, you want to have 3 attachments on a weapon, go nuts, but it'll mean you can't need something else.
I like it this way, and I in general think that it just feels a lot better than Advanced Warfare's multiplayer last year. The gunplay just feels a lot more solid. I don't know if they've. Well, it's a different developer, obviously, Treyarch. And I think this might be a bit controversial, but I think Treyarch are now the guys I'm gonna look for a better in terms of better multiplayer game. I'll be like, okay, I'll look out for Treyarch's one now.
I think they got a bit of a bad rap before, and then they came out with the original Black Ops and went, actually, people kind of took notice of them again and said, I think people were wondering whether it was going to be, the Infinity Wards of old, if you like, when they obviously had their issues. But they've sort of, Treyarch have taken the lead with it, I think.
They've done really well. Yeah, the multiplayer is really, really good. And again, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of the zombies, but even that looks decent to be actually. I haven't given it a try yet, but I have just browsed around the menu just to see how it looks, and it looks like they put a lot of detail, paid a lot of attention to it, actually giving it some sort of substance. I really like the multiplayer side of it, and like the online stability is usually one of the things people complain about. So far, I've played it quite a bit.
Well, I think they've all gone with dedicated servers, haven't they, for the PS4? And
I think so. Yeah,
if I'm right in thinking. I don't want to say that and then have a million comments tell me that I'm wrong.
I think I've seen some complaints, people on Xbox One saying, "Oh, I've had a shit experience." I'll be like, "Oh well, I'm on PS4 and it's really solid. It's really good."
Yeah, I mean, just pausing the game for a quick second, you can see it's got you've got a connection meter, and it tells you exactly how quick your ping is, and it sort of tells you when you get lag spikes and stuff like that. Which, if you ever in the middle of a game when you go, "Oh, that fucking lag spike did me in," you just press pause and you realise, "Oh no, I was just shit." That's probably going to be my excuse more often than not. But it's a solid multiplayer experience. The one thing I did want to mention, actually, in the campaign, obviously, the multiplayer is a solid 1080p 60, constantly. I've not seen anything in the way of slowdown at all in the multiplayer. In the campaign, it almost seems like the cutscenes or like the little in-engine bits, even though they are in-engine, they seem to be running at a lower frame rate than the actual gameplay. It seems so, yeah. Which is really jarring. Like, you're sort of going from presumably what is, I don't know, about 50-ish frames a second through to 60. And it's
a lot lower.
Yeah, it's really... It is really jarring when you suddenly have this... You suddenly have this... moment where you go through it's almost a bit juddery, and then it goes into silky smooth 60 FPS, and then you're back into you sort of get past the bit you meant to get past, and then you suddenly have this juddery moment again. It's almost like It's like the difference between the normal frame rate and like high frame rate versions of like The Hobbit and stuff like that. It's
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Actually.
it's quite strange.
Yeah.
But I think that's a little bit of a disappointment. And there is actually a bit of slowdown in the single player campaign as well that I've noticed, which during gameplay, which again, Call of Duty for me has always been that rock solid 60 frames a second experience, and I was a little bit disappointed by that. But it's a small thing in the. Whoa! I just got blown to bits.
So did I.
Yeah.
That guy had a war machine. Yeah. So.
I mean, it's kind of a small thing in the long run, but when you're used to having that solid 60 frames, it's a little bit disappointing.
No, I get you. But you're right. The multiplayer's smooth as hell. But yeah, it's a case. It's weird. Like I said, I prefer multiplayer single player in this, and it was vice versa last year. But I guess multiplayer is what people play it for these days. Now it seems like the campaign's a secondary thing. To be honest,
and if I think honestly that seems like a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
I really, really loved the campaigns of old. Where
same here. We're probably like two old fogies moaning here right now. But
back in my day.
Yeah, those campaigns were amazing. Anyone who plays them, like you can still go back and play them now. That Gillies in the Mist mission in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was amazing. That was unbelievable. I mean, and it was a scripted set piece essentially, but it was an amazingly scripted set piece.
Yes,
beautifully done.
And I think one of the biggest things for me is like every time I get past a mission in this, I'm sat there and going, but it doesn't feel as good as that moment when we stormed the boat at the start of COD 4.
Yeah, no, there's nothing that matches that. There's lots of loudness and lots of swearing and shouting and all that sort of stuff, but it just still doesn't match up to the good old Call of Duty campaigns of old.
Yeah.
Sorry, it sounds like we're moaning, but it's just
I think it's a valid criticism, and I honestly think that there are problems with the game, and we wouldn't be doing it justice if we said it's the best thing since sliced bread, because it's not.
And hey, I'm a shit on the multiplayer, but I still fucking love it. It's really good.
Cool.
So there you go.
Well, I think we'll probably wrap it up there with a defeat in the multiplayer.
Yeah, that was probably down to me.
I don't know. I mean, Jesus, that guy's juddering all over the place.
Yeah.
But anyway, after we just praised the multiplayer experience.
I praised the multiplayer. This guy's lacking.
So like as I say, that's Black Ops 3. There's tons of stuff we haven't even talked about in this video. You can play the campaign in co-op. You can play it split screen co-op if you want as well, which I know Halo's obviously gotten some stick for not having, but there's a lot of good things to like about this game.
As a package, still, if you look at it overall, it's a very good game. But it's just that one side of it is probably there's a lot more weighted towards that than which is the campaign, which is the I guess the lesser side. But this is what people play Call of Duty for now, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Cool. Right. Well, I think I'll say we'll wrap it up there. So thanks for joining us again, and stay tuned.
Pleasure.
We've got a bunch more stuff coming up very, very soon. All right. Cheers, guys.